How you doing everyone, Juan Romero here from SwitchWatch, and I'm back with 12 new Switch games dropping between the 30th of May and the 6th of June. Granted, it's not as big as last week, but our bank balances are still recovering, and this week there's still some gems to pick up. I'm going to start with my pick of the week, The Outer Worlds. Due to drop on the 5th of June. A game created by Obsidian and was always going to get our attention when it dropped on other consoles last year. It was a disappointment that the Switch version was not due at the same time. But we would prefer, of course, a port that was done right rather than rushed, and we're looking forward to this action role-playing game in the first-person perspective. There is combat with numerous firearms you can equip, and one of the things to look forward to are the more complex character conversations and interactions in which you can make dialogue decisions to take the story in differing directions. There's plenty here to enjoy, we feel, and we just hope that the port is a good one and worth the wait. James will be reviewing this one, and his review will be out at the end of the week. James and Jordan, what are your picks this week? Let us know.
Hey, how's it going everyone? It's James Romero here with my pick of the week, and this week it's The Takeover. Hot on the heels of Streets of Rage 4, we have a side-scrolling beat-em-up inspired by the classics of the 90s. You get to battle solo or with a friend whilst listening to some great music. It looks decent enough, and we're always interested in side-scrolling beat-em-ups. We will know more when our review drops, and it's launching with a 10% sale on, so be sure to check this one out early doors.
Hey everyone, Jordan here with my pick of the new games this week. I'm going for something a bit weird and a bit funky. Do Not Feed the Monkeys. Not because I can attest to its quality, but how can a title like that not grab your attention? It's a surveillance game where you observe the private lives of the people and take notes about them. There are apparently multiple endings and lots of variations to be had, depending on how you interact or perhaps don't interact with the people that you're watching. It's certainly going to be a unique experience, and I'd be happy to give this a try when it releases next week.
Liberated is a comic book noir cyberpunk story where you get to hack the system, solve puzzles and sneak around. Headshots are also part of the game when you need to dispense justice. To me, I love this art style, and with a blend of promised action, Liberated could be a hit. Let's wait and see when this drops on the 2nd of June. If you've seen the film The Matrix, you'll know that humans are used as the power source. Here in the game Despotism 3K, humanity is enslaved by an AI, which apparently is a good thing because you're on the right side of this conflict. Here you get to exploit the humans, you get to extract their power and build your own empire. If this one is for you, well, it's out today. Next up, we have our little cheap game of the week, Awesome P2. If you pre-order, it's got 20% off, and you can get it for about £3.59 in the UK or $3.99. It's the sequel to a little platformer called Awesome P. There are 25 levels in this sequel, pixelated visuals where everything is green, of course, with a nice retro soundtrack. One to play probably in between those bigger titles. Depth of Extinction has a story we've heard many times before, a future in which killer machines are plotting mankind's demise. You play here as the defender of humanity's last government, and you'll have to build a squad capable of destroying the machines to save the world in this turn-based tactical RPG with roguelike elements. This has some heavy competition, having XCOM 2 just dropped on the Nintendo Switch. Though this is much cheaper, there are 10 character classes with over 115 different weapons, armor and items, and 30 plus enemies to take down. Those of you that like your turn-based strategy games, this might be an alternative to look out for. Strawberry Vinegar is the story of a grumpy girl who doesn't have a single friend, and then a greedy demon appears from the darkest pits of hell. What will happen between these two? Will they become friends? It's a unique tale of friendship between a young girl and a demon. If this is your sort of thing, then Strawberry Vinegar drops on the 5th of June. Super Holo Bunnies Pause Calf is another cheap little game due to drop on the 6th of June. You can pick it up for around £4.49 or €5 or dollars. Again, nice cheap game where you can play boss rush mode or a campaign where their friend Kit Kat is on a mission to share dire news with the bunnies in Kit Kat's level-based runner campaign. For the price, this could be a nice little pickup again to play in between those bigger titles, not too taxing. Aqualunga's drops on the eShop for the UK on the 4th of June. This has been released already in the US, but the UK and the EU have not had the pleasure. Aqualunga's is a game about beating other players in a race contending with deadly creatures and opponents whose sole goal is to collect the treasure. Everyone has the same goal, but each character can use differing advantages such as speed, or maybe you're the type of person who likes to slow others down first using your attacks. Whatever tactic you do use, this is a blast with friends and can even be played solo if you need to get that practice in. Here we have 51 worldwide games on the 5th of June. I could have really filled out my video with these 51 games, but I'm not going to bore you with it. On paper, this is probably not the most exciting, but I can tell you one thing. How often when the family come round or friends on special occasions do you have to pull out all of those decent board games to play? What if you had 51 of them close at hand all at once on your Nintendo Switch? Okay, probably now when a lot of people are still on lockdown, it's hard to get together with friends, but families stuck at home, this is probably the perfect little set to get. And when going traveling again in the future, a game of Connect 4, Texas Hold'em, chess, or a dice game is always fun to play. And with 51 here to choose from, I'm sure there's going to be something here that all families can enjoy. You can whip out the Joy-Cons or even play against others online. I'll definitely be picking up a physical of this, no doubt. It's the Swiss knife of games and has a tool, no doubt, for most situations. Patata Fairy Flower seems like a decent little puzzle platformer with cute looking visuals which look appealing. A traditional platformer with puzzles and bosses, and of course that little bit of exploration that we all like. It sounds like a nice little game to get acquainted with on a nice Sunday afternoon. Lastly for today, a trailer of Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered Edition dropped, which really brings back some memories. The game isn't coming out next week, but it will be coming to the Switch in August, which we're all looking forward to indeed. Now last week was a big one which we still haven't recovered from as the dent in our bank accounts gets bigger. This week of course could not be as big as the last, but still some nice little smaller games to enjoy. What are your picks, if any? Leave us a comment down below and be sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification if you don't want to miss more weekly content just like this. James tomorrow will tell you all about the great bargains you can pick up, and on Monday Jordan's back with all the great physical releases. I'll put some videos up now for you to enjoy. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one.